And our Discord little buttons are showing now. I just had to check a box. Ta-da! Now you can see when I'm talking. And when Sir Friendship is talking. And let's turn on the desktop audio so you can hear them. Hear him too. And hear the game. Alright. I think my mic is a little quiet. Let's turn this up a little bit so I'm in the nice good green zone. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah, that's good. We're in the green. We're in the green. Make sure the game is up at a good volume. Ooh. Okay, where are we going first?
There is apparently some submerged ruins we can go to.
Okay, underwater
First,
ruins.
we might have to fight through these guys first.
Oh yeah, that's where that singing's coming from. The singing lady. Oh, I have 10,000 runes. I forgot about that. You better not die. There we go. Oh, hi. Stabby stab. Oh, somebody's here.
You're my friends now. We're having soft
Soft
tacos
tacos
later.
later. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. So, you got the audio separated. Good. How's my audio on stream? I just noticed that in OBS it looked a little low. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we really do need to do a test before we record our podcast.
This way.
I forget that just because we can hear each other doesn't mean that the recording's going to pick us up. So, yes, tests are good. Are you streaming in a bit too? Vanilla plus editing. Good. Are you mostly just working on the editing like to get the audio good now, or are you actually like clipping out the parts where we're just kind of bullshitting? Oh yeah, I forgot I got my sword out. Rat, rat, rat-a-tat-tat, rat, rat, rat-a-tat-tat. Ha. Okay. Oh yeah, I still got health. I forget, I'm actually pretty strong with the sword. I just like avoiding getting hit. No, none of that. I don't know what you were shooting out of that thing you have, but I don't want none of it. Okay. Right now it's just scanning through to get an idea. Oh, okay, okay. Well, that's what happens when you work 3 12-hour days and you got the rest of the week, you get to be the editor. Also, I only half know what I'm doing. Okay, are we going? Oh, okay. I love this part. My favorite part. You won't find 500. What? What? Why do I always fall to my death? That didn't even look that scary. Alright. How far away from you am I? Okay, good.
Basically from the bonfire to the left.
Just follow the sign for my runes.
You should see the aqueduct. Golden rune 12.
A 12? Oh, you didn't catch the Pokemon. Oh, where do
And when you jump down off the cliff, make sure you land on top of the squared pillar first.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me pick up my 10,000 runes. Thank you. Oh, 14,000 now. Okay, and well, no, I did. I landed on that. And then I did a separate jump. Okay, fine. Whatever. Hi, I'm here. This game hates me.
Just don't walk into the water because I'm sure you drown.
The deep water.
Yeah,
Okay. So, like, this is all water. What are you talking about? Anyways.
and here's your 12.
Oh, yay. Can we get our horsey back? Can our horsey jump that?
I have no idea if that's some deep water.
Oh, yep. Dad! I checked it for you. It's a good question. Hello, horsey. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go down this way and follow this path. Boop a doop a doop a boo. Do 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 do. Charge! Burp 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 burp. Mealy. You should send me a little snippet when you have something edited. Oh, hello. Give me something good. Just magic. Okie doke. Alright, where's this place again? Over here. I gotta go up here first. Then I can go over here. And okay, I'm gonna get off my horse because that never.
I don't know if you can make that jump off your horse.
I've been doing it. Oh, with it. Never mind. There go 14,000 runes. Goodbye. It was nice. It's nice knowing you. Tackle grabbing. Gonna tackle grabbing cold to make an intro tomorrow. Oh, yeah. And Wednesday during nap time. Okay, cool. Yeah, the intro is gonna be cool. And then when we get like some teasers to put out on social media, that'll be nice. Thanks for distracting me about the fact that I just keep throwing away all my runes because I don't know how to jump. That's my legacy. The streamer who played Elden Ring and doesn't know how to jump. Okay, let's pick up my 0 ruins. So at least it goes off the map. Okay. Oh, let's see. Ah! Why can't I? Oh, I hate you, game. Just let me come back to where I was. Okay, I'm gonna rest. Are you by enemies?
Nope. 'Cause I don't have enough runes. 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 'Cause I don't have enough runes.
Oh, no, I didn't have to reload. I didn't have to re-download. I didn't have an update for Seamless. But I did have to restart my computer like 10 times again. Yeah, you are. I mean, he doesn't talk much. Can you say hello?
Hello.
Did you hear that? Can you hear the game? My desktop audio. Okay. My desktop audio is always tricky because it looks like it's low, and then I listen to the playback and it's not low. So then I'm afraid. Oh, I also probably just don't have it on the right mic. No, that's the right mic. Okay. Well, I turned it up. We'll see if that helps. Oh, no, don't get off the horse. You also can't hear the game. Did my turning it up help at all? Now you can hear the game slightly. Okay, so I should just trust this and what it tells me. And hello, Yorvu. Welcome in. Nice to have you here. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. I keep jumping off of cliffs and losing my runes, and then I'm trying to talk about my podcast with my sister, and it distracts me. What I really need to do is just get a bigger monitor to see my chat, so I don't have to keep crouching over. So what's happening here? Just so we're all up to speed, is I try to jump and with the horse, and I over jump. So then I tried to jump without the horse, and then I missed it. Fuck! Oh! Whoa! Clip. That was magical. That was absolutely insane. Hi. Did you see all that?
Yep.
It's like, am I gonna make it or am I not gonna make it? I don't know. Always torrent for jumping. Which quest line are we doing? I don't know.
Uh,
We are trying to do this place. We're trying to get through these underwater ruins. Yeah, you didn't really where are we going? Are you still trying to find a way out or
no, I
a way
found a
in?
way out. Where are you? Aren't you following?
Oh no. Hi. I'm supposed to follow you? Not supposed to just talk to chat and ignore you in the game.
And just be careful jumping up here because the
Oh yay.
other side of this wall is water.
Okay, it's fine. This is my favorite part. We're cool. Jump. Jump.
Missed.
Oh, now you died. No, I'm not the only one
You
who
might want to
fell.
use your horse to get
I
across
got
that
it.
jump.
I watched I watched you fall your death,
Oh,
and the
okay.
first thing I did was get out my horsey. I'll wait here. Yeah, I'll let you know. I don't mind. We're following a guide on the internet anyway, so if you have tips, feel free to share. I am not above that at all. So then am I supposed to jump from the sidewall into the middle road thing?
Don't know. I'm gonna go rest and get rid of my rot.
Okay. While I'm waiting for you, let's see if I can move this closer so I don't have to be so squinty like the old lady that I am. So we should do the Ronnie quest line. Okay.
That's actually what we're doing next.
Oh yeah, that's it. There you go. That's what we're doing next.
I think that's what the guide had us do next. Nope. No, I did your double jump miss.
makes me
Your
so
laugh cut out, by the way.
Oh, dang it. Okay, come on, microphone. Don't be such a baby. Don't be such a baby. Sometimes I laugh and you don't need to cut out. Maybe I just gotta push it farther away and adjust my pop filter. Okay. Ha 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 ha.
Why?
Did that cut out?
No.
Huzzah.
Why do I have to...
It is time for a chocolate. Which chocolate should I have? I think I'm gonna start with a crackle. Crackle with the little crispies. Okay. Well, since you're doing that, I'm going to take a risk here. Oh, I made it. I made it. What's that? Maybe, okay. I'm gonna hang out here and hope he doesn't come over here till you get here. You're just gonna hang out there and stare at me, right, guy? Right, guy? You don't need to come any closer, guy. My partner's not here yet. Sure. I don't know if this is the best build, because I didn't know... This is my first Souls game. And I don't usually play these kind of games. And also, I didn't realize that I was going to want to use magic, because I'm a chicken. And I don't want to get close to people. So, I've done that rebirth thing like twice. Yeah. But this is what I've got. I got some vigor, and I got some... Oh, here's a creamer that I was going to put in my tea. Forgot to do that. Oh, hey, you're here. Is this a fight guy or a friend guy? Oh, fight guy. See, I like to chill out in the back where I get less hurt. Bam. That wasn't so bad. Oh, and there's a chest. Yay. What's in the chest?
You're my friends now. We're having soft taco
Chris
later.
later. Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks. I try.
Okay.
I figure things out as we go along, right?
So we can teleport to the aqueduct-facing cliffs.
Oh, we're gonna teleport. Okay. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, no, don't. Do I have to change? Oh, no. We're still underground. Cool. I found it on the map. First try. Are you proud of me?
Good job.
Good job. Oh,
Huh.
my measly
Rest
1,000
again.
runes. Oh, did my torch go away? Come on, torch.
There was a thing. Where was it?
There's a thing? What kind of
Oh.
thing?
Yep, back up this road.
Okay. Zoom, zoom, zoom,
Unless you
zoom.
got this stone sword key already.
I don't know.
Here?
Nope, I did not. Thank you. Pokemon. Well. Okay. Now I got horsey. My horsey didn't want to come at first. It was a skirt.
You love platforming, right?
Yeah, it's my favorite. Platforming is my favorite. Where? Oh, that's where you went. Okay. Boop. Ah. Yeep. You do. Oh. Oh. It's my favorite. Are we sneaky or killing?
Both.
Okay, I'll let you go first.
Ow. Why am I not
Oh,
rolling?
he's a tough guy. Nope,
Yeah,
I
he
can't.
is.
What if I throw that at you? Hassa! Oh, no one caught a Pokemon. Oh, oh, no, no. None of that shit.
Ow!
I don't want to fight close combat with you. Rude. Oh, distract him, distract him. I need to drink a potion. Oh, fuck. Do, 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 do. Okay, have a good stream. I'll probably pop over when I'm done here. I forgot how far we went. We went through the
Just down the
jellyfish.
cave. That was pretty much it.
Wait. Thrust this way down the cave, not that way down the cave. Oh, no, no. This way, this way, this way. I got it. I got it.
And then your
Oh,
favorite
yeah.
platform
And then
boots.
yeah, my favorite part. Okay. Do, 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 do. Let's get my light on just in case. Okay. Boop. Okay, that one is just a nice low drop, and then this one is just, oh, it just doesn't seem like I should be able to fall that far. Okay, oh yeah, and there's my boots.
There's your runes. There's a Missionary Cookbook 5 over this way.
Okay. I see your purple shinies. Not that I craft anything, but I'll pick up the cookbook anyways. I'm sure at some point in this game we're gonna have to craft, but...
Oh boy. That sounds like it's gonna be fun.
Oh, what is it?
You want me to ruin the surprise for you?
No, you're not gonna be surprised.
Shinies.
Where's shinies?
Across the way.
Oh. Oh, you're done. Oh, hi. Let's get your shot off. No! You keep your distance, sir. Oh, hey. Little gremlin. Frostbite. How did that all go? Okay. Right? Yeah, there's the jellyfish. Oh, yay. No, not that way. This way. I got it. I know where I am. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. Oh, no horsey. And they said, no horsey for you. Okay, let's beat this one. Hi.
Hi.
Imagine how long it would take me to do this game if I did it all by myself.
You would have had a
10
beat by now.
million years. A million years.
Scarab.
I got a golden centipede. Oh, I don't do those things. What are I always forget. I do sorceries, not incantations, right? That was
There's a
an
golden rune 7 out there.
that was an incantation. What? Money? Where? Oh,
So-
hi. I see you. Beep beep. No horses here.
Golden rune 13.
Wow. Hey, don't push me off the I'm gonna die. You're gonna push me off the edge. I don't need this. I'll come push you. Ah! I'm gonna kill myself. Trying to goof around and then I'm just gonna roll off the edge. Do, 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 do. Zoom! Zoom, zoom! We should ask Alaric when school starts again. Oh, I see shiny! Shiny, shiny! Ba-doop! Ba-doop, ba-doop.
So we're this way.
The fun thing that you're not telling me about?
No.
A shiny thing? You. Oh, ha.
Yeah, I don't know where the thing I'm not telling you about is.
Okay.
I don't know where it is. Stop freezing me.
Right. Trying to pillage a corpse here. Are we going this way?
I'm gonna go behind the waterfall first.
Oh, there's something shiny back there. Oh, and there's something shiny on this body. There's a whole little room. Nice. I don't know if I need any of those. I honestly... Oh,
I don't
totally
think
lost
you do.
track.
I think you have somber smithing.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, that sounds right.
NPC. Let's talk to NPC.
NPC? Hi. Hello? Are you just gonna breathe heavy?
Okay, thanks, guy.
Oh. You gave me a pose.
Oh, is that why I didn't get it? Because I never.
There's a
seem to-
golden centipede.
Poses are weird.
And there's another golden centipede.
Didn't I get? I got that one already.
Okay. I'm gonna go down the water path. The opposite of the waterfall.
Nope, we're going up these stairs.
Up the stairs. Okay. Ooh, that looks pretty through there.
If you look on the cliff, you can see what I was not going to tell you about.
What is that?
Are
Is
you
that a
ready?
dragon? Or something else? I'm blind. Am I ready? Sure. Can I bring out some friends? I can.
I don't know if we need friends, but I'm going to assume so.
Me too. Oh, a gargoyle. We haven't seen one of these in this game, have we?
No.
Okay, that's why.
Ow.
Am I doing any damage to you whatsoever?
I'm dead.
I am not. I am not doing any damage, and neither is the maiden. Oh yeah, I don't think we're ready for this. Oh, I did a little damage. I did a tiny little damage. Ow! Did. Okay, let me think about this. Oh, this is gonna be the rest of our stream, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Are we going to the stake?
Yeah, I went to the stake.
Okay. Hmm. Oh, look it. Now you can see the gold door. It didn't show up as a gold door before. Sneaky
It's
little
because, yeah,
Okay.
it's just hanging out there waiting.
thing. Is there anything I want to do? No, I guess I just go in and bring something out, get my ruins, and hope I do better than last time. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, down. I gotta go down. Not left. That's to bring up the horse. No, don't. I have a lot of ruins, but I'd like to get them back first. Where are they even? Okay. No. Ugh. Okay. Okay. No, you did not drink that. Okay. Now you did. Now drink this. And watch out. And run. Nope. Didn't run fast enough. Back. Run away. Did my mage guy die already?
Yeah, he did. Like one hit with that thing, with that shot, I think. Or a shot like that. My eagle's almost dead too.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get out my bow, I think. And recharge. Okay. Oh. Concentration. Wait, there's something else here now?
Yeah, there's another one.
No, fuck you.
Surprise!
Oh, hi. Supplies. And I couldn't see my
I'm out.
runes, so yeah, I've been out.
Swiped me. Oh, are you?
Yeah. And I didn't get my runes before they killed me, so we might as well just keep going until we beat them. This is the day of losing all the runes. This is the day of losing all the runes.
Oh, there's two of these guys, so that means we should get a lot of runes, right?
We should. I need to have a chocolate before we go again. Yum. I finished my tea. And most of my soda. Then I got my water. I love myself a good peanut butter cup. You know what I'm gonna print? I think I have a few more things to print for my display. And then I'm gonna print a tiny little garbage like the ones we roll out to the curb for my desk.
What do I want to put on here?
Oh yeah, I haven't looked at. Don't we change our thingies the other day
Our
for something?
equipment? Yeah, we changed them for
I
fighting.
should look at that. Okay, raises potency of sorceries, HP, stamina, and equipment. Magical damage negation. Let's change that. This thing isn't magical damage, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Shorten spell casting time. Okay, I like that. Especially with my big bow. That's what I'm gonna have. My big bow. I wonder if I have a better... One more thing I'm going to do is see if I have a better ashes to bring out. You use your Stormhawk. That seemed to last longer than... Do you have it, like, plus something, though?
Let me check.
Wait.
It is a +4.
Wait. I must have rot. No, I have FP of 126. Hi, Rach. How's it going? Do. Because I was looking at my inventory to bring out different ashes, and like these ones that are 100 say I can't do them. Oh no, they're red. Red means mom hug. Of course. There you go. I'm just trying to figure out what to fight this big bad boss with. So the red means it's better than what you currently have?
No.
It's worse. But is that just because it costs more? I think that's all it's telling me.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah, it's just
I had a
saying that it costs
maiden
more.
who cost 82, and I was okay. It's not telling me that
the
I can't get
ashes,
them out.
We have no clue how exactly which ones are better, which ones aren't. I haven't.
I just assume if they cost more, they're better. I'm gonna try Banished Knight Oleg because I have a +1. Okay, we're ready. Do. And by ready, I mean yep, ready. Okay. Oh, there's some runes. Not that it's gonna matter, but I see them now. Hey! Oh, that's not the one I wanted to bring out. Oh well. Oh, yeah, he's gone. Okay, I gotta drink some of this. Oh, my mage isn't dead. I thought he was. Oh, the second one's coming out.
Coming, yeah.
Okay, let me switch to this one. Ah, no. Ooh, I managed not to get hit by any of that. It's a miracle. Cast faster! Cast faster! Okay. I need to drink magic. Oh. Okay. Let me back up. Drink this. I actually look like I know what I'm doing. Sort of. Okay, I miscalculated on this one. Damn it. Okay. Are you almost done with yours?
Nope, I just died.
You just died? Now I gotta fight two of them?
Mine was almost dead.
Yeah. Oh, mine was not.
I got poisoned. I think that.
You got poisoned? Oh. Drink number 2 complete. Okay. I'm ready.
I'm loading.
This time I gotta bring out the right person. And then we'll be lickety split. Okay. So I got this.
I'm
And it
going
casts
to
fast. And we're gonna change this so I can reload my magic right away. Okay, you tell me when I can go in.
Yeah, okay. Wonder if freezing would work better on this guy than magic.
Oh, for your little thing that you put over your
Yeah.
grease. Your greasy
Yes,
grease.
my grease.
The greasy grease that I never use.
Yeah, it probably doesn't matter. He's a gargoyle. That means he's made of stone, right?
You would think so.
Alright, let me just make some. Oh, I have some of those. Why didn't they work? Oh, well, whatever. Let's go.
Okay. You. This guy. I hope you fast, sir.
Oh crap, I died.
You died already?
I was bringing out my eagle and he got me with his light sword.
Ugh. Distract him, buddy. We're gonna use this for practice. Dodging practice. Okay, nope. Owie. Oh, nope. Okay. Please don't die right away this time, okay?
But why? You can't handle it on your own?
Not even just a little bit.
Are you ready?
I'm right behind you. Hello? Can you fight, dude? You're real useless when you just stand there. Replenish that. No, I was drinking my magic. Did I? Okay, I did get it at least. Can you sit still so I can hit you with the zero? Thank you.
Better.
Oh, the other one's out. The other one's out.
Yeah. Poison.
I can't control my camera. Why? Okay. No. Let me. No. That's the sound of me dying. No. No. Don't get into poison.
Ow. Just switching to the other guy.
I know they're so rude.
I'm still alive.
Oh no.
Oh, that poison got me.
Oh yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get up in the fight before I bring my dude out. So he actually fights for me. He doesn't just stand there like a bozo. Drink this. Bring my buddy out. Come on.
Get out of the poison.
Go get him, guy. Don't put your weapons away, dude. Yes, hit him. Hit him. That's your job. Hit him. That's not what I meant. Going into direction. Okay. Oh, I didn't know you were doing that move next. Oops. Whoopsie. Okay, I gotta learn the order of operations. That's how we win this, right? When does he do the little one where he runs the thing down at you? through the ground. I don't like that one.
Well, go lock on him and watch.
Can I? Oh my god. I didn't know I could lock on when it wasn't my turn. I'm sitting here manually moving the camera all around to try to watch the fight.
Not that I gave you much to watch.
No,
I died
not
right
not
after
this
I
time.
told you that, but
Not this time, but now I know for the
my
future.
controller died.
Oh no.
Hang on, I can't choose where to revive.
Okay, I'm just sitting here on the loading screen. I don't know if it's a coincidence or it's because you can't.
I don't know. My controller's plugged in now. Loaded. I'm loading.
Oh, me too. Okay. Okay. Man. Man. He's just not being nice to me. Okay, I'm watching. I'm studying. So he's sweating down. Oh, now there's two of them. How am I supposed to keep track? Oh, you died too. Okay.
Yeah, because the second one came and got me.
Are we supposed to get better at this?
You would think.
And then we just keep getting worse. Like, we almost had them, like, 3 tries ago. And the last 3 tries has been, like, nowhere even close.
Do I have a better thing to use? Better ashes. I can't bring out Pumpkinhead. I had a feeling Pumpkin. I don't know how strong he is though.
Yeah, I think I've got my A game. I don't think I can do anything. Unless I try the, I don't know. Maybe I'll try. No, I'm gonna try the
Okay, I'm
birdie
ready
just
whenever
for
you are.
fun.
I can't go because you're blocking the door.
Aim. Oh.
Apparently Ancestral Follower didn't do much. Good job, you really killed that rock, man.
Oh. How do you get away from him when he's flying at you? I don't.
You just gotta dodge like right before he hits you.
Okay. That didn't work. Do 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 do. Oh yeah. And does the B dodge or the jump dodge make a difference?
Jump dodge? Yeah, you have to push B to dodge roll.
I got roll. I can't just jump out of the way.
No.
Okay, that's probably my problem.
Oh, that was the wrong button.
Okay. I'm going back to my big guys. Which one? That's the question. Great Shield summons 5 Great Shield Soldier Spirits. I kind of like the masses. Let's try that. Okay.
There went my runes.
Oh, I haven't had mine since the beginning.
Yeah, I had.
Oh. Oh, I'm out of magic. Okay, and I ran into a stick. Or a stone, or whatever.
Yep.
Are we the right level for this?
I don't know.
Oh, man, not that one. I think I'm gonna try with my sword a little bit next time.
there's friend.
Oh no, not the friend. Oh.
At least friend hadn't come over and got me.
Yeah, that's true.
I was watching him come down and crawl over, but...
Yeah.
Let's see. Do. All right, let's go.
Ready? Here we go.
I mean, no, I'm not really ready, but we'll pretend. Oh, that still hit me?
And drink some potion.
Friend is here.
Friend is here already? Right. Friend. Excuse me. Give me a second. Let me get my bearings.
Damn it.
I'm trying to heal and switch weapons.
I was healing
okay.
and I died.
Okay. I'm ready for you. Oh, no I'm not. No I'm not. Well, we got to the second one this time.
Yeah.
Relatively quickly. Does that mean it comes like when the first one's a certain level, right? Not time,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
It's right. It's when he gets to about half-ish.
Okay. Well,
Ready?
that means we must have been doing something right.
Yeah. Too bad we couldn't keep it going, right?
Oh. Oh, gotta drink this. And grab. Yeah.
Friend's here.
Okay. Hi, friend.
Oh, it still hit me. Damn it.
Oh. Nope. Man. Okay. The friend is not the one I can attack with my sword. I can't get in there at all. Poison!
What? Damn it.
Poison.
Poison kicked in and took my life.
Mm-hmm. Do you have
I
something
was
that,
just starting
like...
to heal.
Oh, should we go rest? Are we accumulating rot this whole time?
No, we're not.
Oh, okay. Is it they waived that for bosses?
It seems like it. Because, yeah, I was paying attention. I was checking that like the first couple of times we died.
Okay, I am actually going to
Do I have
check.
something to help with poison?
I do. I have a. Where is that? I have one of these things. Raises robustness, immunity, and focus. Immunity would be
Yeah, I think
poison.
immunity is the one that helps poison. It like
Okay.
makes it at least fill up slower.
Okay.
So that's what I'm putting on.
And I'm gonna do fast pour. Okay.
Hang on one sec.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually put my poison healy things in my quick items.
Oh, you haven't been doing that?
No.
Okay.
Stop hitting the rock and hit the guy.
Oh, I was drinking potion. What is happening to me? I got stuck. My controller was vibrating.
The poison was doing weird things.
Oh. Well, yeah, you're rolling again. I tried a different tactic. It didn't work. Oh. Ouch.
What kind of weird noises are you making up there?
Trying to mimic the dying noises. Are you saying I didn't do a good job?
Oh, I need to craft some more stuff here. One sec.
Okay, that's right.
Except magic actually seemed to be helping a little bit, even though I didn't think it would. Unless that was just random luck. Ready? Or are you checking things?
Okay, I'm ready.
Why are you dying already?
Shush! Oh, buddy's here.
Oh, I see that.
Okay, let me run away. Oh god, that was pure luck. Oh, fuck.
That first gargoyle.
Yay! That probably cut out, didn't it? I got one!
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. No. All up to you now.
Against the Kai, I don't know his pattern. Great.
I think what I figured out is that faster small damage is better than slow big damage.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
So I'm gonna stick with my shard. And then I think I gotta double check my talisman
Ow.
again. Unless you're just going to beat him and then... Ooh, poison and breath. Rude. Oh, you got a pretty gun. Oh, ouch. Get me the bun. Watch out for the poison! Oh. So close. Okay, we got it.
So close.
Next time. Next run is the run. We're ready.
Yep.
Okay. Let me just check one thing instead of this. We're gonna do this. And good.
Ready?
Yep, you can go.
Probably shouldn't start it right in front of the doorway.
Don't jump into it, lady.
Oh, what? No, go hit him in the face. Friend's coming.
And stop. Oh. Oh, yeah.
First one's done.
I'm dead too. When that second one
again.
comes, I gotta unlock and find the second one and just switch. Because otherwise he sneaks up and just kills me. Poison!
I have magic for you.
Are you learning his pattern? Yeah, that's the one that got me last time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woohoo!
30,000.
Yeah, good job.
Let me go get my 0 runes over here. Do I not get a thingy, my brother? Oh, there it is, way over there.
Side of grace? Huzzah! And there we go, just like I said. Rest of our stream, fighting the boss.
It's still 12,000.
Go rest and level up, and then we'll send a raid over to Mealy. I think. What
It's
do
a
I
good
need?
thing we got that golden rune 13.
Oh
I needed
fuck.
the 10,000 points that it gave me.
Where's you? Yeah.
Great Waterfall Basin, north of you.
Okay. I gotta come get the ruins apparently.
Yeah.
I gotta come get them. They didn't just magically come to me. Okay, where are you? Probably behind me, right? Oh yeah. Okay. Do 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 do. It's like, oh wow, I need 36,000. That's interesting. Okay, wait. Status. I need 6,405. Okay, inventory. 10,000, 7,500. Let's use these. then we'll do boop. This one. Okay. Now I'll come back. And give myself some more vigor. Is there anything else you need to do before you leave, or did you leave already?
I was gonna go check out this one room over here quick.
Okay. I'm just going to level up here. Bigger at 40. Yay.
Yep, there's nothing in this room. So, nope, I'm all good now.
Okay, thanks for playing.
Yep, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, where's my... Oh, because I'm in crafting. Like, where is my separation dist? You can't craft that. That's why you can't find that. Alright, raid. We'll see if my raid button... Yeah, there we go. So, if you're joining along on the raid, you can put the copy and paste the first message if you're subbed, and the second message will work for everybody. And we're gonna go do a little raid over to my sister. If I can find her on here, if this is working. And then we'll see you next Monday for some more Elden Ring with Mr. Friendship. Scrolly, 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 scrolly. I don't see. Maybe she's not streaming. Let me check. Do, 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 do. Oh. It doesn't look like she is. Oh no, there she is. 1 hour and 5 minutes. Maybe this only shows me affiliates. Let's
Let me tell you.
type in Mealy. 1991, there we go. Start raid. Where's my ending?